Welcome to the Plaza. College Algebra. Review for the exam number 1. We need to solve the equation by completing the square. For that, we're going to take, remember, this is A, B, and C. C is already been placed to the right side of the equal sign. Now we need to take B, divided by 2, and raise it to the second power. So B is 20, divided by 2, and raise it to the second power. It's going to be 10, raised to the second power, 100. What we're going to do is add the 100, which I forgot in X. X plus 100 equals to negative 62. Are you here for the review? Okay. You can, please, could you sign in, and then this is a copy. Okay. You're welcome. If we add 100 on the left side, we have to add 100 on the right side. Now I'm gonna factor the perfect trinomial. Factors of x squared is gonna be x and x. Drop the first sign to figure out the second sign and multiply positive and a positive. Give me positive. Factors of 100. They added together is gonna give me 20. It's gonna be 10 and 10. Now I'm gonna combine in the other side of the equal sign. That is gonna give me 38. I'm gonna rewrite it because the two parentheses are exactly the same. That always is gonna happen. I'm gonna raise it to the second power to let them know that I have two parentheses that are exactly the same. Now I'm gonna square both sides, plus minus of the equal sign. The 2 cancel with the 2. Now I have that x plus 10 is equals to plus or minus the square root of 38. Now I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides of the equal sign. Cancel. X is equals to negative 10 plus minus the square root of 38. And that's my answer. I'm recording, so I'm trying to, yeah. You got that one? Do you want me to go over?
If you can, just go over.
Yeah. Okay. First, always remember that we have A, B, and C, right? To do completing the square, you always have to check the leading term to be 1. It was already 1, so I don't have to worry about that, but always look for that. Second step is going to be to move C to the right side of the equal sign, but it was already there. So they have 2 steps already done for us. So what we need to do is take B, which is 20, divided by 2, and raise it to the second power. So 20 divided by 2 is going to give me 10. And then 10 times 10, 100. So what I did is add 100 here, and I have to do everything in the other side as well. So 100 in the other side.
This is the part where I kind of got confused because I couldn't understand. Okay, so once you, okay, it makes sense now.
Okay, good. And always is, when you factor, you're always going to end up with 2 parentheses that are exactly the same. So you're going to write it only one time and raise it to the second power to say I have two parentheses the same. Okay, so we're going to move to question number 2. Question number 2. Solve the equation using the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all this over 2 times a. Now I'm gonna write down what is my a, which is 2, b is 5, and c is negative 7. I'm gonna replace all the numbers here. X equals negative b is gonna be negative 5 plus minus square root of b raised to the second power minus 4 times times 2 times negative 7. All these over 2 times 2. I have x is equals to negative 5 plus and minus. We're going to clean up inside the square root. 5 times 5 is 25. And I have negative 2 times a times 4 is a times negative 7 is going to give me positive 56. Denominator, we're going to have 2 times 2 is 4. Now we have negative 5 plus minus, combine what is inside of the square root, which is going to give me 81, all that over 4. Now a square root of 81 is going to be plus or minus 9, all over 4. From here you're going to have two answers, negative 5, and I'm going to pick positive 9 now, all over 4, and the other one is going to be negative 5, negative 9, all over 4. So keep on going here, is going to give me 4 over 4, which is 1. And I'm going to have negative 14 over 4. If I simplify by dividing by 2 top and bottom, I'm going to have 7 negative 7/2. That's my second answer. Do you have questions? No. Okay. I'm speaking too soft? No, you're good. Okay. I'm going to move to question number 3. Yeah, I'm going to put the thing down because the sun, I think maybe. The thing is acting up and up and up. I'm going to put this down. The thing is acting up a lot, so I'm going to put things down. Trying to see the reflection, don't stop like messing up with this. Okay, solve the actual value. Okay, solve the actual value inequality. Write your answer in set builder and interval notation. Okay, we're gonna rewrite it. 3x plus 5, actual value -7, less than 17. So we're gonna solve this. The first thing that we're gonna do is to add 7 in both sizes to cancel this. Now we're gonna remove the actual value. 3x plus 5 less than, it will be 24. So now I'm going to subtract 5 in both sizes of the equal sign. Cancel. I have 3x less than, that's going to give me 19. Divide by 3, both sizes. Cancel 3. Okay. Just a little bit. Now I have that x is less than 19/3. When we're doing actual value, we're going to have two answers. The first one we just solve it, and the second one we have to make the other side negative. So first, before we make a negative, we're going to add 7. Add 7. So we have 3x plus 5 less than 24. Now we're going to make this side negative. We're going to subtract 5 in both sizes of the equal sign. 3x less than, this is going to give me -29. Divide by 3, both sizes. Cancel. Now I have x is less than -29/3. You want me to stop? No. You want me to stop? No. If you need help, Ricardo with the hat, he can help you, or Adam with a long sleeve t-shirt, they can help you. You're welcome. You ready to move to the next one? Okay. Ah, I didn't do that. You're right. The curly brackets.
Where it's like
Set builder, such a thing, yeah. That's the set builder notation. You're right, I never put the answer in the right way.
Can you just show me like
The set builder notation? Yeah. Let me think before I do it. The set builder notation for this one is gonna be.
I usually get these.
Oh yeah. Okay. So set builder notation. Okay. It will be the curly bracket x, such a thing as x is less than negative 29 over 3, and you close it with a curly bracket. This one actually is easier than the one before, because the only thing that you have to remember is the curly bracket, the x, and the actual value, and then you're going to write the answer exactly as it is, and you close it with a curly bracket. That's the set builder notation. And for this one, we're going to do the same thing. You open the curly bracket, and then you go x less than 19 over 3, and close it. I can pause it. No. Oh, okay. Allah. It was doing it constantly. So I have to write every time twice because it wouldn't like read it. And it reads my hands, even though I'm trying to work here. If I barely move around, it would like pop it up. It's like the chat or something, yeah. So you ready for the next one? Okay. I'm gonna keep on going, okay? Question number 4. Solve the absolute value and equally write your answer in set filter and interval notation. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna write it. 3x minus 2, the absolute value, and greater or equals to 7. So first we're gonna remove the absolute value. Then we're going to add 2 in both sides of the inequality sign. And we have 3x greater or equals to, sorry, thank you, 9. Then we're going to divide by 3, both sides of the equal sign. And we have x is greater or equals to 3. Now we have to do the negative one. 3x minus 2, the actual value greater than or equals to negative 7. So remove the actual values. Oops, negative. So we're going to add 2, both sides. And we have 3x, just cancel, greater or equals to negative 5. You're going to divide by 3, cancel. We have x is greater than or equals to negative 5 over 3. And the same thing, the set builder notation is going to be x, such a thing as x greater or equals to 3, close it. And in here it's going to be x is greater or equals to negative 5 over 3, close the curly bracket. Good with that one? Okay. Next one. Question number 5. We need the distance formula. So that's going to be d equals to square root of x2 minus x1 all raised to the second power plus parentheses y2 minus y1 all raised to the second power. Now we want to call this to be x1, y1, x2, y2. Going to replace all the values inside the square root. So it's going to be 7 minus 3 raised to the second power plus y2 is negative 3 minus 5 all raised to the second power. D equals square root. We're going to have 4 raised to the second power plus negative 8 raised to the second power. Are you following through? Okay. D square root of 16. I don't need parentheses. Plus 64. D equals 80. This one, you can find the factors. I see that already. 16 times 5 is the same as 80. The square root of 16 is going to be 4 square root of 5. That's your answer. You're good? Okay. So we can move to the next one now. Question number 6. Find the midpoint. So we're going to start with the formula. M is equals to x2 plus x1 divided by 2, comma, y2 plus y1 divided by 2. The same thing, we're going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. Negative 2 plus 5 all divided by 2. y2 will be 11 plus 7. Yeah. That's what I told you before. Over here. It's impossible. You can talk. I pause it.
So, like right now, this side is just
if I work on this side where I like to work better because I have the tools on the top, it's going to start like going crazy. That's why can I move to this side. To here to see if that will happen again? Okay. I will like from here go there. Give me a second. Plus 7 divided by 2. If I add the negative 2 plus 5, I'm going to get 3 over 2. And it's going to be 18 over 2. The first one is going to be 3 over 2. We cannot simplify that. And the second one is going to be 9. And that is our answer. If It feels a lot better because anytime I will move close to this end, it will be just going crazy. It looks like it's not reading me anymore. My hands in the bottom, yeah. Are you good with that one? Good. Okay. Oh, I didn't perfect. Okay. 7. List the intercepts. So we're going to look for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. When we're looking for the y-intercept, we have to substitute x for 0. So we have 16. We're going to replace x by 0 plus 25 y squared plus 400. This will go away. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. 25y squared equals to 400. Now we're going to divide by 25. Divide by 25. This cancel. Now we have y squared equals to divide. This is number 7. When we divide, we got 25. 25. Now we're going to do the square root. Both sides. The 2 cancel with the square root. And now we have y equals plus minus 5. So our answer is going to be 0 minus 5. That's one intercept. And the other intercept is going to be 0, 5. Square root of 25 is 5. $400 divided by 25, what you got? 16? Oh, you're right. Because I was looking at the wrong one. But the other one is going to be 25. So you're right. Okay, this actually was 25. Gonna review this one. Okay. So 400 divided by 25 is going to be 16. So I'm going to do the square root method. Plus minus square root of 16, square root of y squared. So the y squared goes with a square root. Now I have y is equals to plus minus 4. And the answer is going to be 0, negative 4. And it's going to be 0, 4. Those are my two answers for the y-intercept. Now for the x-intercept, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to replace y for 0. So 16 x squared plus 25 y is going to be 0 raised to the second power equals to 400. All this goes away because anything multiplied by 0 is going to be 0. So I have 16 x squared equals to 400. I'm going to divide by 16. Divide by 16. 16 cancel. I have x squared equals to, now it's 25. 25. So square root method is going to be plus minus square root both sides. The square goes away with the square root, and now I have x is equals to plus minus 5. So the right way to write this answer is going to be negative 5, 0, 5, 0. So those are my 4 intercepts. Question number 8. You good with that one? Okay. Draw the graph so it is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. So we have to remember that we mirror over the y-axis. So that means that we're going to flip this over. So this is more or less 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be crossing around here. 1, 2, 1, 2. So more or less this is the shape it's going to have. It's hard to graph in this board, but this is the best that I can do. Okay, number 9. Write the standard form of the equation of a circle given the following information. So having information, we know the formula, which is x minus.
Cuando yo esté mirando todo esto, ¿qué tiene que hacer?
Esto se está grabando las voces. Completely? Okay. You're going to sign it here, and in the front is a stamp. So this is the formula of the circle. And this is raised to the second power plus y minus circle of the y raised to the second power, and this is equals to r squared. So it's always good to label. So my x here is going to be the cx, and the y is going to be the cy. So what we need to do is replace them into the formula. So I have x minus 5 raised to the second power plus y minus 4 raised to the second power equals to 3 raised to the second power. So the only one thing that we have to, two things that we have to do here is clean up the sign and work that one out. This one is, the first one is nothing that we can do to it. So rewrite it, and then here I'm going to clean up the sign. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive 4 raised to the second power, and 3 times 3, 9. So this is your answer. You don't have to whisper. You can ask questions. Look, I don't want other people talking to me random stuff, but like questions. But questions related to the problem, you can ask without whispering. No, because they only want, read the question, write the standard form of the equation of the circle given the following information. They want the formula in a standard form. This one, they keep the circles really like plain in this level. If you're going to like pre-calc calculus, they're gonna go deeper into it. But for this level, it's really plain and straightforward. It's like basic, just like letting you know circles are there. It's just like cling. Yeah, it's if you know the formula. This is pretty simple. You have to make sure that you don't screw up the signs, and you know the formula. That's all. Okay, gonna record again. You can keep asking questions without whisper though. Okay, we're going to move to question number 10. Graph the equation. Write down the center of the radius. Remember the formula, right? Where the circle is equals to x. I forgot. It's plus or minus? Minus. Cx and we have y minus cy all this raised to the second equals to r squared. So your x and your y for the center are right there, and the signs are going to be the opposite. So the center is going to be 2. Remember the 2 from here, but it's going to be a positive 2. And the 3 that is coming from here, because over there is positive, is going to be a negative 3. Write down the center and the radius. The radius is 25, but remember it's being raised to the second power, so really it's going to be 5. You got that? Okay, good. So number 11. Graph it? Okay. It says to graph it, I think, right? Oh yeah, it says to graph it. Look, you go first to the center. So remember, this is your x and this is your y, right? So you go to x2, which is 1, 2 is around here. Remember that it's hard to graph in this board. And then y is going to be negative 3, 1, 2, 3 here. So your center is going to be about here. What you do, the radius is telling you that you're going to go 5 to the right, 5 to the top, 5 to the left, 5 down. And then you connect all those points. This is the best I can do here. It looks something like this. Okay, now we're going to move to number 11. Write a general formula to describe the variable v varies directly with t. Okay, every time you see the word directly, that means it's going to be v or whatever letter they're giving you, right? Any variable. Directly means it's going to be here on the top. And we always have k. So you have to remember directly is going to be right there. When they say inversely, that means you're going to put it underneath a fraction bar, a division bar, and then you put it in the bottom when it's inversely. So that's it. Well, you have to solve it. Write a general, no, you don't have to solve it. It says write a general formula to describe this. So that's your general formula. You haven't get to that yet? But pay attention too, because yeah, maybe. So when you get to the class, you're going to be like a pro. So B is 10, T is 25. So what you're going to do is you're going to replace them in here. 10 equals to K. K is the constant. It's a variable that always is going to be there when you're working this type of problems. And your T is going to be 25. So how you solve for K? You divide by 25, both sides of the equal sign. 25 cancel. I can say that K is equals to 0.4. So you found your K. Not all the time. It can be a whole number. This one is just kind of the introduction, then they're going to be a little more complicated, but this is the idea. Always the variable that is given is going to be equals, you are always going to have k right there. And then the other variable, you need to figure out if it goes on the top or goes on the bottom. How do you know that goes on the top? Because it says directly, so it's going to be there. It says inversely, you're going to do a fraction bar and you're going to write it right underneath. That's all. Then they're going to add two new things. They're going to come in the next problem. So question number 12. Look at this. Write a general formula to describe the variation. A, now we're working with A. In varies inversely, that means I need to put in the bottom with x squared. So here I have k. Always k is going to be there. So I like to write on the side my information. A is equals to 20 and x is equals to 4. They're not asking you to do this, but you can go ahead and do it. It's extra practice. You replace a by 20, k, we don't know, that's what we're looking for, and 4 raised to the second power. So we know the 4 times 4 is going to be 16, and then to solve for k, we're going to multiply both sides by 16. This cancel. Now I have k is equals to 16 times 20. It's going to be 320. Are you good with that one? Okay. Next one, 13. And there is directly as the square root of L. The square root of L. So now they're giving you more information. N is 3 seconds. When L is 9 inches. What is the value of N? The value of N when L. So we're looking for the value of N. That's going to be our next thing to do. When L is 25 inches. Okay, first we're going to figure out what is K. How are we going to do that? With the first information that is given, as we did before. So we're going to replace N by 3. K is there. The square root of 9. We know the square root of 9 is going to be 3. How I solve for K? I'm going to divide by 3. Both sides of the equal sign, this cancel. Now I have that K is equals to 1. Now that I have K, I can look for this new information. So I have that N is equals to 1, which is K, right? And then the square root of 25. So 1 times the square root of 25 is going to be the square root of 25, right? And the square root of 25 is 5. So I know that 5 is going to be 5 seconds when L is 25 inches. Good. Next one, 14. The amount of time it takes to drive a distance is inversely, so the amount of time, that's t, right? That takes to drive is inversely proportional to the average speed. So speed is on the bottom. If a certain driver takes 40, so I'm going to write down all my information. Take 40 minutes To complete with our speed of 60 miles, the speed 60 miles per second. Find the average speed if the same driver takes 30 minutes. Takes 30 minutes to complete. Write down units in your final answer. So we are looking for the speed now. So first we're always going to find K. Multiply by 60 both sides, cancel. And now I have that K is equals to 40 times 60, which is 2,400. That's my K. So now I'm going to substitute the time to be 30 equals K, which is 2,400 over the speed. That's what I'm looking for. So in order for me to solve for the speed, I'm going to multiply both sides by the speed so I can cancel and move it up. Now I have a speed is S times 0. So to solve for that, 30 S equals to 2,400. I'm going to divide by 30 both sides of the equal sign. This cancel. I have that S is equals to 2,400 divided by 30 is equals to 80, I'm sorry. It's 80 miles per second. Now, the last one, number 15. Hypothesis. You want to try that one?
Yeah, I wrote it.
We're going to do it slowly, but I want you to do it with me. Because we did few already. So at least to set it up. The volume B, so you write down B. Always K. K always going to be on the top, right there. B of a given mass of gas varies directly. That means it's going to be on the top. Directly as the temperature T and inversely as the pressure P. Directly it's going to be the temperature T, right? T, and then inversely it's going to be the pressure, so it's going to be over P. And K always is going to be there on the top.
Okay, so put K on.
K, next to the T. Okay.
Are you doing them backwards or?
No, I'm the last one. I just stopped so she can do it. She can try a little bit by herself.
Okay, so you're almost done.
Yeah. It's only 15 questions.
I know, the first one's short.
Can I say one of them?
Yeah.
Well, I have the test on Monday. Sure. Maybe at home.
Yeah. So now you're going to substitute all the information that we have. Write down on the side. I like to write down on the side the information that is given. I'm going to start. The volume B, that's the volume of a given mass of gas varies directly as the temperature T, directly, so it's on the top, and inversely as the pressure, so it's over P. Now I'm going to write down the information that is given. I have the volume, which is 300 inches cubic, when T is 290 degrees, P is 20 pounds per inch square. What is the volume? So now we're going to be looking for the volume. What is the volume on this device when the temperature is the temperature is going to be 580 degrees and the pressure 60, and the pressure is going to be 60 pounds per cubic inch. Okay, so I'm going to replace all the values that I have at the beginning to figure out what is K, the value of K. So 300 equals to K times 290, all this over 20. So the first step is multiply both sides by 20. That cancels. Now 20 times 300 is going to be 6,000 equals to 290K. Now I'm going to divide by 290 both sides of the equal sign. The 290 cancel. I have K is equals to 20.69. If I round to two decimal places, that's my K. Now I'm going to find the volume. If K, which is 2016.9, times the temperature, which is 580, all over the pressure, which is 60. So volume equals, if I multiply 20 times 580, is going to give me 12,000, all divided by 60. So I have the volume is going to be 200 inches cubed. Square. Inches square. Done. But you can ask questions.